Hello everyone, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. Almost Christmas, who can believe it? That time of year again. So, it's time for this year's top 10 pipe tobaccos of 2018. So, where do we begin? There's some ones that that are still in the list from last year, one or two. A bunch that have become favourites again from previous years, but before I started doing my top 10 list, and some new ones from this year. So I'm going to start with, this is in no particular order, Jermaines Rich Dark Flake. This is a kind of, it's a one-of-a-kind tobacco, I think. There's nothing really else like it out there, and I just keep coming back to it. It's a mysterious blend. It's a subtle blend, but it just keeps me interested. And is a great smoker. Is a great smoker, and actually I've been smoking it a lot this week, funnily enough. Next is a new one for this year. I encountered this a few months back and it's become a firm favourite. LJ Peretti's number 8 slice. Billed as a vapour, but if you remember my review of this, it has that kind of McClelland sour topping to it. At the time I was reviewing it, it was quite fresh. It turns out that vinegar does kind of dissipate after a while, which is not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing, because at first, when you first open the tin, that sour topping is quite dominant, and possibly, I think, unbalances the blend, even though it's an intriguing taste. But as that starts to dissipate and the tobacco comes forward more, it just gets better, I think. So that is a total favourite of mine at the moment. And it's a crumble cake format, so good. Next. This is kind of a long time favourite for me. It was in last year's top 10 too. I imagine it'll be in next year's top 10. Dunhills Dark Flake. Ah, you're saying. But they've discontinued Dunhills Dark Flake. And so they have. But Chariton, if I've got that name right, are now doing a black flake, which is Dunhills Dark Flake. I haven't tasted it, but I'm fingers crossed it's just about the same blend, and I'm sure it'll be just fine. So next year it'll be as Chariton's Black Flake, but same tobacco, I believe. Now the next one, this one I discovered through the Blend Club, which I couldn't be happier with. I'm so glad I got put onto this. HNH McBaron's HNH Old Dark Fired. For me, this hits a completely different spot that all the other tobaccos do. This is a deep dark tobacco, not horrendously strong like the Bold Kentucky, which will knock your socks off. But Old Dark Fired, that dark fired leaf is at the forefront, and man, it's just delicious. The next one is another H&H blend. In fact, this is the second of 3. There's another one coming up. This is the Latakia flake. This is somewhat of my... I smoked this one because of... because I can't smoke the one that I'd like to smoke every single day because it's such a terrible one to find. You'll see when we get there. But Latakia Flake does do a good job of not necessarily hitting the same notes. It's definitely its own thing, but it gets me through. The next one. This is not just new to me, it's kind of new to the world this year. I haven't done a review of it yet, but this one really hits the spot. And I meant to do a review of it, but I just smoked it too quickly. This is Sutliff's English #1. It's from their Crumble Cake range, as you can see. And this is really good. It's a spicy Latakia blend. Not overly spicy, but it's there, and it works with the Latakia really well. Burns great. Just light it and go. I really love this one. I bought 1 tin. I should have bought 10. But hey ho. Now, I suppose in the same ballpark, I guess there are a lot of English / Latakia flakes in this list this year. This was also in last year's list, and it's the Seattle Pipe Club's Plum Pudding. And that's a really great one as well. I don't think I've done a review of this one, but this is a really lovely flake. And it's just tangy Latakia. You can sort of see a running theme here, I think. Which kind of takes me to what for me is the top of the hill, I suppose, in terms of Latakia flakes. It's Esoterica's Penzance. I don't know if anything will ever top this one. I won't go through the whole story of how I came across Esoterica's Penzance, but suffice to say, I was hooked onto it even before I heard the hype. I mean, by the time I heard the hype, I was a true believer anyway, so there you go. Second one, I kind of put this on the list because I was trying to think of a tobacco that was just a Virginia, and generally I don't do just Virginias. In fact, I don't do just Virginias. But this one has kind of snuck in a bit. I don't smoke it all the time, but when I do, I enjoy it. It is another Esoterica blend, which means it's a swine to find, but it's Dunbar. It is a very curious mix. It's hard to try and bring it to mind, but I'm smoking one of the other ones on this list at the moment. But I do come back to this time and time again. So I know it's got something about it that I really like, but nevertheless, an unusual one for me. Straight Virginia. And then finally, the one that I'm actually smoking, the other HNH blend, the Burley Flake. new this year, and it's just a really nice, it's a really lovely one to smoke. It's quite a low-key flavour. It's sweet, it's kind of deep, but it's not dark. And it's just really easy to smoke, which is all you want sometimes. So that's it. That's my top 10 for 2018. Not a aromatic in sight this year. We'll see how next year goes. Who knows? Maybe something new will make it into the list. An unexpected one. But until then, I've now got to go and do another video. It's going to be video crazy this month, with 2 videos I'm thinking. But if I don't see you in the next one, then Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra, chaps.